you don't think I'm going 140 miles an hour in a 50 zone for Mr. Good Boy, you don't know the first thing about me. Jordan Addison moving up my draft board. A guy who's that committed to his dog, that committed to going fast. This is my guy. I am so in on Jordan Addison today. I mean, we're going to do whatever we can to get him in this BBM. There we go. Weird to do a stream by yourself. It's kind of fun. Yeah, this is what the people really want to know. When knew me? I mean, it's just me out here. I'm going to start with the baseball, do really quick off the hop here just because it's timely and BBM is not. And I really like today's slate. Knew me, if you want his thoughts. Clubhouse is out. Retweeted that on the Badge Bros account already. And if you want Nez's thoughts, well, he's at a movie right now watching the Oppenheimer. His are on the Nez Takes. So there you go. I'll give you a quick rundown of my thoughts. I think Jose Ramirez and Paul Goldschmidt are the two most mispriced players on the slate in terms of ADP. I like what the double bubble leverage of the Mariners and Twins offer today. A little bit more so on the Twins bats side. No Buxton, went on paternity leave. But go ahead and look at Twins. Basically, nobody's getting drafted here. Yeah, Tuma had some nice things to say about Alex Kirilloff in a tweet today. He's been going good recently. Not so nice things to say about Julian as a potential regression candidate. But outfield's really shallow today. So if you want to go ahead and Kepler and Kirilloff or something like that, I'm feeling that. But my two favorite plays right now on this slate, Milwaukee Brewers, middle of the order, right-handed hitters. Graham Ashcraft, reverse splits guy. So I'm really opting into a little Willem Contreras and a little Willie Adames, the Willie touching Willies combo, as I like to call it. You can also maybe a little Joey Weimer at the bottom of that lineup as a right-handed power bat. Even as a one-off, if you're just looking for a little contrarian stuff there. But I think the boys nailed it kind of in the clubhouse and in the Moonshot Monday here that Cardinals, Ryan Nelson had a really nice start last time out. One thing just about to say about Nelson is that he has been really good away from home and he's been really bad at home. So they are on the road today for what it's worth. And he had a really nice start against the Braves last time out. So who knows, but very liable to get blown up by a Cardinals lineup there. I am not really going to the Rangers stuff, watered down lineup with Seager going on the IL there, but not many people are going to Rangers just in general. So might be a good idea just to get a little different in a decent spot there. I am going to go ahead and hop in. Yeah, this is how everybody feels. Just me and we're out, guys. I respect it. I mean, I'm a fragment of myself without the boys. That's for damn sure. But I had to get you guys. The boys weren't available today. It allowed me to stay one extra day at the cabin and then come home today. So that was kind of nice treat for me that they told me yesterday, or else I would have come home there. But I still wanted to give the good people a little content, and I was going to be drafting right now anyways. So why not? ADP looks pretty sound at the top of the draft board there. Soto, obviously, good spot. Tatis, good spot. Corbin Carroll, good spot. Probably my three favorite hitters in order there. And then probably Vlad. Vlad is my highest home run odds for the day. So do with that what you will. Maybe mixing in the back end of the Toronto lineup there against Michael Grove, or who I like to call Michael Groove, it down the middle and let the boys slam it. And another guy nobody's drafting or have yet to see drafted today is Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor, not terrible against lefties, but obviously you prefer him against a righty. But Josh Naylor, just not getting touched. He was on fire for a bit there, hitting fourth today. Uh, probably, probably a little good move to get there if you can, just as a back end like mix in guy. But yeah, Soto, Tatis, Carroll, Vlad, probably my four favorite hitters off the top, and then Lane Thomas feels really nice too. Stone Garrett had an ADP earlier that was pushed way up. Yeah, and we don't have to worry about the Jordan Alvarez stuff. Jordan looked like it was a sneaky little Nez nugget there, but for whatever reason they didn't activate him yet today. Hopefully that doesn't mean setback, doesn't mean anything weird, but not activated today. So I kind of like getting to John Gray a little bit more now. The back end pitching options today, like I think it's Darvish by a landslide. Darvish is actually my 101. Darvish by a landslide. I'm a little scared about Logan Allen's pitch count. They sent him back down to manage his innings, and then he came back on like a 70 cap. So not exactly sure how I feel there. Ashcraft reverse splits guy, as I alluded to earlier, why I like the righties in the Milwaukee lineup. They're going to give us Soto. I'm going to go ahead and take Soto here, see if I can wrap it around with Tatis, although that start is pretty common. So I will mix in some contrarian infielders if that happens. Still like Kyle Tucker. Luke Big Shot's going ahead and taking Jose Ramirez there at 5. His ADP's in the 20s, as I alluded to. Probably most mispriced guy on the slate. Yarborough probably only goes 2 to 3 innings. And then it doesn't matter. He's a switch hitter. But speaking back to the Naylor stuff, is I think people are kind of scared of that lefty. But yeah, I wouldn't be, because it's probably not going to last long. Oh, Numi's in our draft. Nice. Let's see. We need a little background music here, huh? It's a little dead air with just one guy speaking here. Looks like Luke Big Shots is going ahead to build out the Cleveland stuff. Numi getting ahead of the Marte there, opting not to go for the Freeman bets. I'm going to go Tatis here, and then I think we're going to go contrarian 3-man stack unless Vlad comes back to us, and then we would do something like Blue Jays. But I've seen freezers all over the Vlad stuff right now, so I imagine he doesn't make it past him twice. We'll see. Manny Machado kind of buried down here too, and has just been the hottest hitter in baseball for the last month or so. Just of note, I think Nez had Astros as his favorite stack. Astros. Had Padres as his favorite stack, and I think Numi had him third. Something like that. Numi had him a bit further down at 5 there, but I really like Numi's shout right here. Pat Corbin, professional pitcher, and the Rockies are rolling out what, honest to God, might be the worst lineup outside of maybe the Royals and the A's that we've seen all year. No Chris Bryant, no CJ Crone. Just checking here. Hold on one second. No CJ Crone. You got lefty killers in Diaz and Grichuk, but just not really worried about it. And then they had somebody scratched. I don't know who was in the bottom of this order beforehand, but 6 through 9, most average baseball fans can't even name. So, going to Patrick Corbin in the last round as a contrarian pitcher who is like ADP 8 right now, seen worse ideas. So we'll see. If Freezer doesn't take Tucker, we will have a decision to make there in deviating from our contrarian stack play. But if he goes ahead and does that, I think we're going to just stick to the original thesis and build something out here. Interesting. Tucker, Soto, Tatis is like 3 of my 5 favorite sticks on the slate. So I think I'll just go ahead and take Tucker and then build out a 2-man infield stack now. I have Tucker. Let's see. Predictions. Uh, Stochastic has Tucker as their fourth favorite hitter on the slate. Carroll, Tatis, Jose Ramirez, then Kyle Tucker. I have Kyle Tucker as my combo, my third highest. So I have Carroll, Tatis, Tucker, Soto in that order. So I actually like Tucker more so. Interesting. Numi's going for the Twins one. Twins contrarian was low-key going to be my middle stack. He's going to do it with the outfielders, so I could still do it with the infielders. But I alluded to the fact that I really like Brewers off the top. So let's go ahead and do this with the Brewers and take the two Brewers righties in the middle of the lineup. And then we're going to do a contrarian pitcher in probably Patrick Corbin there to just even further diversify this. You could do the little like doubling down on the Milwaukee bet and do like Colin Ray with it. Don't love it as much there. I'll play catch up in the chat here in 1 second. We got to figure out how to get a little tunage going here. We'll do night driving in honor of Numi and to not step on the feet of our internet father, Pete Overzed there. Let me know if that's too loud. I got it at 32. There we go. Oh man, dusted off the N64 on Friday or on Saturday night. N64 on an old, like rounded bubble TV. So family cabin this weekend. Played golf the one day. Went up with just 5 buddies, and we don't have TV or internet up there. Like you can still get like LTE on your phone and like that sort of thing, obviously. But like as a concerted effort, like we don't have it up there because we don't want it up there. Just so it's like old school vibes. So we played N64 on like an old bubble TV up there. Like Luke Big Shots is never taking William Contreras here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take the pitcher first because I think he might consider doing it given the fact that he was stacking Nationals here. So I don't want to leave myself out there. And actually, they both had 3 infielders, so they can't take it away from me anyways. So all good there. Let's see what Nibby does here. See if he goes with the 2 infielders and then builds out the back stack Minnesota bats from the outfield. Oh, played a little Mario Party. Mario Party 3. Classic, man. Yeah, we had Mario Golf. We had Mario Party 3. And we had Mario Kart. And then, being the fucking idiot that I am, I'm going to go take William Contreras here and build that out. I think people should be mixing in Brewers more. That will be kind of like my biggest takeaway from this. I think mixing in Brewers would be good. I think San Diego is probably my favorite top-end stack. Then D-backs, then Cardinals. Paul Goldschmidt's mispriced. Jose Ramirez is mispriced, and Patrick Corbin is a nice contrarian back-end pitcher. There's your Cole's notes on the baseball slate, and I'm going to go try and jump in BBM here, and I'm not going to pump fake anybody if you want to go ahead and jump in with me. 6 slots. Yeah, here, but look. Being the idiot that I am, I bought these games like last summer at like some small hole-in-the-wall video game and collectibles store. And I was like, oh, next time I go to the cabin, like I have to take them up with me. And I've forgotten them every single time. I left this bad boy at home in the desk, like WF Attitude, and then NASCAR 2000. Like who doesn't want to play that? I would have been tight. Anyways, pretty fun weekend. Just chilled out with the boys and, yeah, good times. Yeah, having the NES, that's a sick move too. You know, you can build those little Raspberry Pis. They're like little computers that are like this big, and you can buy them on Amazon for like $100, and you can put like 100 games, or like, you know, I think you can put like 1,000 games on some of them. Anyways, they're really cool, and you can just do that sort of thing, and they hook up with like a HDMI. Yeah, man, Blitz. I wish I had Blitz. That's one on the wish list now. We made a list of ones that we didn't have that we needed up there. That one, Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey. If anyone who played that game, you know, the puck goes on fire. We need Wave Race too. Wave Race was a good one. We had the Star Wars pod racing one up there. That one's fun. These games, it's weird, man. These games they're low key transcendent. Like, they've held up the test of time because they're just like so simplistic. Oh, here we go. Numi always grinding. The ratio's good. Nice. Here we go. Yeah, this is the move here. Getting a little Corbin exposure. I mean, we joke about him being a professional pitcher, but yeah. Yeah, okay. So we were talking about this. GA, good one here. So we're playing Mario Kart drinking game there. And I was saying that the optimal strategy, I did one of these this morning where I did McCaffrey from the 103. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Cooper Kupp here. It's interesting to see Cooper Kupp's ADP is now kind of like flipped this tier. When we started BBM, like, Travis Kelce was just like the locked 104. And it's interesting that it's played true to our thesis that one slid and one's the other one. I got some thoughts on the news and stuff from the weekend too as we get going. But let's talk about N64. This is way more fun. The Mario Kart drinking game strategy that I was thinking was optimal, right? A lot of the guys would put the controller down. And then for you guys who don't know the game is you have to finish your beer by the end of the race, but you choose to, like, when you can drink and finish your beer. So there's obvious spots that it's like beer finishing time. If you get hit by a red shell, you know, like, put the controller down, finish your beer because you're already like spinning out, right? Buys you a little extra seconds. The boys think it's optimal to slam the beer off the start of the race. I think that's bad practice. And I'm not the best like beer slammer like ever because I'm old. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not that good. But yeah, so yeah, the rule is no drinking and driving. That's the rule, right? Yeah. So Numi is saying what he thinks that is optimal is you get in first, then you coast a straightaway, you put your thing down, and then you slam it. That's one strategy. The other one was you slam it right off the start, then you're in last place, then you drive, and then you get good items because you're in last place, and you know that they still have to stop to drink at some point. So you're going to gain a little like leg room that way. I think it's optimal to get the boost off the start, right? Because, you know, you time your boost off the start, you get that big fire kick, you jump to the front, then you put the controller down, then you slam the beer, and you're still in last by the time because everybody passes you, but you got the boost. So you get the boost, everybody passes you while you're drinking, then you get the good items, then you catch up. That's my thesis. I don't know. I'm not a good enough drinker to win, but I tried my best. Yeah. Put your thing down, then you slam it. There you go. Print the shirts, man. Shit. Yeah, I mean, this is a fun time for BBM. I think we went through like a little bit of a lull. We went through that little bit of like that down period where OTAs are finished and we're waiting for camp to start, and not much really happens. There's a little bit of franchise tagging news. There's a little bit of contract stuff being talked through, but not much really going on. Now we're kind of pushing into like that peak news dump season. And you have to like filter out like what's noise and what's real, and does a pupless transaction actually mean anything, and yeah. And as alluded to on the front there, interesting, the boys treating this one like it's weekly winners here, going with a couple stacks early with the premium quarterbacks. I did one over the weekend and then one this morning with Best Ball Breakfast there, and I've been noticing the quarterbacks fall, but not true in this room right now. Jonathan Taylor punched Christian McCaffrey start. That's fun. Saquon. A little bit of FUD around Saquon. Let's see if we can. Let's do something like this. I don't take a ton of T. Higgins. Let's take T. Higgins here and see what happens. We're low-key starting to see a little premium on these front-end running backs getting pushed up. You know, Nez alluded to the fact that he likes the Derrick Henry stuff a little bit more than current ADP. So maybe there's still something to buy there. We're seeing a little bit of premium on these first 6 because the running back landscape has gotten quite murky in this like middle range here. Yeah. Calibrating Mario Kart. It's so true, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to play optimally. The plan didn't work. I really liked the Saquon plus Cooper Kupp correlation there, the week 17 stuff. So I was trying to push Saquon around the corner, thinking that, you know, one of the wide receivers would go for sure, or both the wide receivers would go for sure. Let's try this. Let's do Mark Andrews. Let's do Mark Andrews and see if we can push Lamar. Just knowing this is damn near impossible, but just knowing that 2 of the premium quarterbacks were already gone on this side of the board, and knowing we got a couple Badgers over here, maybe they don't want to take Lamar. They want to capitalize on some other value there. Let's take Andrews and see if we can push Lamar to the 4th. It's I would give this a 1% frequency. I don't know. Maybe this happens once in a blue moon, but we'll try here. Yeah. Okay, so here. There you go. Less than 1%. Yeah, that's probably true. Does Buffalo sign someone after the High news? That's one of the things that was just on my little list there for those who didn't see that. Got in a jet ski accident where he was hit by another driver. Non-life-threatening injuries, but sounds pretty severe, and that he's going to miss the year and had a surgery. And man, that shit's just dangerous and sad. You hate to hear that. But yeah, I would say bump to the pass catching role of Cook. Like, that was just my first inclination. It makes me feel a little more comfortable about, I guess, taking Cook just in general. I don't think it changes much for Latavius Murray and Harris. Like, let's be real. Naheem Hines was going to be a special teamer. He was going to be like, kick returns and kickoffs, and he was going to be pass catching downs in trailing sets or in 2-minute drill sets. Maybe just all that work goes to Cook now, and now it's not splitting that role. Maybe he gets a couple, theoretical 5 to 8 points of ADP bump. I am a little more intrigued, but because it was always looming in your mind that Hines is there. They traded for Hines. They like Hines. Hines played well last year. He played well with the 2 touchdown game on special teams. I can't remember what week that was. But yeah, little stuff like this happening now. Ramondre at 30 and Jacobs at 38 because there's FUD around both those guys. Ramondre a little bit with the Dalvin Cook rumors. And then Jacobs with the won't sign a tag. ADP Chasing did a segment on it today. I haven't watched all of it. I was driving back and I was actually listening to it in the car. But they were saying some things about, I think Sam did the research on holdouts, and there's all this talk about holdouts in this portion of the calendar year, and then guys who actually hold out is so low. I think it was like Melvin Gordon and Dwayne Brown, not a skill position guy, a tackle, and one other guy, Cam Chancellor, were 3 of the only guys ever since 2000 or 2002, I think they said, that have actually held out and not played on the tag when they said, hey, I'm going to hold out and not play on the tag. So actually went through with it. Maurice Jones-Drew was one that I thought of, but I guess he never even missed a game. He ended the holdout before then. So Yeah, pretty interesting stuff about like how maybe we're throwing a little bit too much FUD at the guys who might potentially hold out. Uh, but Saquon had some really good comments about like, hey, I'll play through because I want to be there for my teammates, blah, blah, blah. The other end of the spectrum is Jacobs. Jacobs feels more likely to be like, hey, I'm going to try and set precedent. I'm doing this for people in the future. He has said as much. Yeah, I think the Jacobs one feels more real. Scary Terry goes there. I love Naked Fields in the weekly winner stuff. I'd love to have exposure to him in this contest, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take Burrow with T. Higgins. Fuck it. Chip, you can have him if you want him. Take him with Chase. Let's take Hopkins and have some fun. Let's push quarterback and see what happens. An interesting thought. Taking a taller wide receiver as my last pick. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why, but like it kind of makes sense. Like just like a guy who can play the X on a team that doesn't have an X. I mean, out of that grouping, I think I like Hollins, then Wilson, then Puka. I know the industry likes Puka. I'm a little. I'd be looking. I mean, I like Mac Hollins. Like just as a player, as the situation. Whatever. Yeah, that was too friendly, right? Too friendly. I should have been looking to body bag Chip there. We'll see here. I mean, he might just snap Burrow here, and then that's that. But yeah, that's cool. Let's try Naked Fields and BBM. I promise I won't stack them unless we get a Cole Kmet drop of like 30 picks. I promise I won't stack Fields in here and see what Naked Fields looks like in BBM, because I do it a lot in the weekly winner stuff. And yeah, Big Mac, baby. What's up, Clay? How you doing? You wanted Kirk and Walker. Okay. That's cool. I'm really warming up to the Kenneth Walker stuff. I took him in both of my last two BBMs. A lot of smart people saying a lot of nice things about Kenneth Walker. Just, yeah. Pass catching skill set plays, man. Especially on a team with the pass rate over expectation that the Seahawks had to end the year last year. Let me look at my list here. Oh, the Melvin Gordon one, obviously. Melvin Gordon was really interesting. Obviously, it coincides with the Dobbins pup. I'll keep reiterating the stuff about the pup list that, you know, preseason pup isn't the same as normal pup, and there's not the same restraints where they have to come off in the middle of the season, blah, blah, blah. Like there's not a designation. They can come off at any time. So yeah, I think it's more of an insurance move than it is like, oh, he's going to supersede someone. The 3.1 mil was like a big number though, because he only got 2.5 last year from the Broncos. Then of course got cut and wound up with the Chiefs. It's going to be incentive laden deal. I haven't seen the breakdown of it. I looked it up on Spot Track and I was looking for like tweets about it. I haven't seen like the full breakdown of it, but yeah. So as Blake's alluding to here, that like there is sneaky holdout risk with him, but the other thing is like if they leave him on the pup to start the year, the Ravens gain an extra year of control. So I think Nez said that in a group chat, and I don't know like the full extent of it, but it's kind of scary to think that like a team can just be like, oh yeah, he's not ready to play, sit him out for like the first 4 weeks of the season, and then they go ahead and gain an extra year of control. Like, pardon? Like that's, man, the running backs are just getting so fisted. I mean, it's such a bad, I don't know. It's just, I feel so bad for them because there's such an important point, like focal point of actual football, but then like every analytical head in the industries are all just like running backs don't matter, blah blah blah, right? So I just feel bad for them now. Like it used to be kind of like a funny bit to be like, oh, they don't matter. Now it's like they're actually just genuinely getting fucked. Yeah, I'm still on boys weekend. I'll watch my phrasing. Yeah, mama, don't let your kids grow up to be running backs. Like, ain't that the truth? Like, honestly, man, make them play soccer. Look at the money that these guys get. Mbappe potentially getting a deal that's worth more than all of LeBron's career earnings for one season. Like, teach your kids how to play soccer, man. Yeah, so this is interesting because rookie contracts being too long, I tend to agree with, but then the problem is if they're shorter, every single player will go undrafted and there's no real reason to draft running backs then. And then they all just get like signed off the street. It's weird. It's a weird dichotomy. There needs to be, I don't know what the answer is, man. I honestly don't know what the answer is. Like a minimum cap for years service or something, but then you would just always take the young guys. It's very strange. Bit of a Madison fall here. Could be fun as our first running back. No, you know what? We're sticking to our guns. We said it off the top. Jordan Addison, what he did for his Mr. Good Boy, I respect what he did for his Mr. Good Boy. Cited driving 140 miles an hour. That's not the note. In parentheses, for his dog, because he's a fucking beauty. There we go. Jordan Addison, welcome to the team, buddy. Welcome to the team. Guys want to dunk on a young kid for going fast in a supercar? Come on. It's stupid. It's stupid. Don't get me wrong. It's stupid. But I've made that mistake too. I can empathize with him doing it for his dog. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to fix it, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'd really have to, like, sit down and think about it, right? Yeah, Numi suggesting guarantee 2 to 3 of the contract up front. I mean, maybe guaranteed money is the solution. Yeah, maybe guaranteed money is the solution. That's pretty smart. Kadarius Toney, obviously another piece of news over the weekend that already hurt in quotations. We should probably take our first running back at this point, and we're going to scroll the F down. This was always the thesis in the back of my mind here. Cover boy Javonte. I think Javante's new ADP, with him not starting on the PUP list, with the amount that they passed to running backs last year. Granted, new situation this year, new coaching staff, but just the amount that Sean Payton has incorporated pass catching running backs in the past, him not starting on the PUP, them only basically having P. Ryan as the other guy. Javonte, I'm going to start building. We talked about it last week. If anybody watched the Neil Orfield one that I was on with Stochastic there, we talked about using Javonte as like anchor Javonte in like the 6th or 7th round until the price tag reaches like the 50s or 60s. I'm about this right now in a big way. I'm very about this. We're talking about a guy who everyone raved about his talent when he was coming out, and then we raved about him last year, pushed him all the way up to a middle of the 2nd round in some isolated draft rooms, definitely the Spike Week draft rooms. They were pushing him up like that. Biden Form was all over him last year, and I mean rightfully so. Like we thought that offense was going to be very good last year. Let's buy the flop lag on Javonte Williams. I am in. Interesting. So we could do like, I don't know how crazy you could get, like pay per usage. I mean, then you open up the door for like a team that's not contending to go into tank mode so that they don't have to pay a running back more. It'd get very strange, but I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Yeah. I mean, if you really want to break down the problem with the whole system is like the NFL needed more guaranteed money years ago, right? And it's basically the only league on earth where you can just be like, hey, fuck this guy, kind of sucks now, cut him, and there's basically no punishment. Like maybe a small cap hit that, smart teams can spread over the books for like a couple years. But the root cause of the problem is non-guaranteed money, no protection for the players, regardless of the position in which they play. That is like the root of everything, right? Actually, watching birds, I got a good bird watching one from this weekend. Like the cabin's like right back onto the lake, right? And there's, bald eagles kind of like come in here and there. Mainly ospreys like dive bomb the lake. And I don't see eagles a ton dive bomb the lake, but we had like 3 that were just kind of like ripping around one morning when it was really calm and just full down, talons at that, got like a little rainbow trout out of the water and ripped off with the fish. Like, so cool, man. So cool. Just one with nature in those moments, dude. Can't beat it. Okay, let's see. T-Bear saying, all this running better talk just means wide receiver value is higher, especially if guys are going to be pretending to be injured. I mean, yeah. Yeah. You're right. From like a BBM drafting standpoint, you're right. Which is kind of crazy to say because like how much higher can wide receivers go on this platform? Like just in general. Like look at all the yellow on the board through the first 8 rounds. Like it's just entire draft board is yellow. I think what's happened though is like the game of football has just evolved so much where almost every backfield doesn't have a bell cow anymore, and they're like committee style backfields, and the wide receiver position has inherently become more important because everybody's figured out the value of playing up tempo and passing more frequently. And yeah, so I think it's like chicken and egg scenario. We've seen the Pacheco slide a little bit. Said he's going to be ready for week 1. I don't take a ton of Pacheco. Let's go ahead and take James Cook here just because of the Hines news. Talk a little bit like that. I mean, maybe taking the Pacheco dip because of the ADP factor is a smarter play here, but let's draft the here and now fun team. Yeah, salary cap's fake. Salary cap is fake. Yeah, I don't know if you want to steer the NBA's direction. The NBA has a lot of problems with the max deals and the getting more money if you stay with the same team. I don't know. I'm not a capologist, man. I don't know shit. So I'll be the first to admit that. Just going with Boyd there. Penny feels really good on this team, like shooting the moon on a running back here, but Sutton feels like the end of a tier and does open up back stacks to Russ with Javonte plus Sutton. I think we'll do that and then figure running back out later. I mean, warming up to making some concerted bets around just like the Philadelphia backfield here. I was a little skittish at first. And now that I've been thinking about it more, it's just kind of like you have to. That offense could just be so good that you just need scattered shots throughout your portfolio of, I don't really care to get overweight on any of the 3 of them. Maybe you just naturally end up slightly overweight to Gainwell because he's the cheapest of the bunch. But yeah, I don't know. I think I gotta change my mindset on Philadelphia and just be like, they're good. They're gonna be good. Just go for it. Oh, breaking news from GA. Thank you, GA. Bateman has now been placed on the PUP as of Field Yates. Yeah, I mean, there was some Bateman FUD at OTAs where it was like, oh, he's still not ready. And then we saw a price drop here. I'll keep scooping as the price drops, but it is a little scary. Yeah. The splits with Lamar and Bateman on the field together, they've been so infrequent, but they've been so beautiful when they were both there. But yeah, that is a little scary there. Yeah. Mbappe 1 billion per year. There you go. Okay. If teams can't insure running back contracts, then they have every right not to pay. I mean, yeah, if you think about every team as like a business and you think about players as commodities and not human beings, which the league clearly does, from a business standpoint, yeah, it just doesn't make sense to pay running backs. You're right. And this is why they can't insure the contracts of it. It's a bad investment. It still goes against the cap, blah, 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 even when they're injured. So I don't know. Maybe there's... Well, I wonder what abolishing the salary cap in football would do. Would it turn into baseball where people only want to go to certain markets? They only want to go to the Yankees. They only want to go to the Dodgers. They only want to... Would abolishing the salary cap be a good thing for football? Guaranteed money for everyone. Not the entirety of contract, but like guaranteed money for everyone. No salary cap. What does that look like? Like, does that turn too much into like a video game and like super teams and star teams and scrub teams then? I don't know. The other problem is I don't really think the NFL cares that it's broken either, right? Because they do realize, think of how many college football players are available and just like want a kick at the can that would just come in there and play for league minimum every single week. There's 1,000 running backs that were like Div 1 running backs last year that are probably just like sitting on the street waiting for that phone call. So like the league just doesn't give a fuck. It's kind of weird. I said we weren't going to stack, so I'm not going to take Khalil Herbert here, although it kind of does fit the thesis of this team. Not Zay Jones, not whatever. Let's take Jamal Williams. There's another guy who went on the pop list early here in Kendre Miller. I don't know. I've been really buying, obviously you guys know my stand on the Taysom stuff and Taysom getting goal line carries early in the year or just getting carries in general. What if Jamal Williams just gets 15 carries each of the first 3 games of the season and he's their running back? I talked about it at the end of last year that I could see Alvin Kamara having the same fate as Le'Veon Bell, where he has a huge sum of money due to him next year and they just go, fuck it. See ya. And they do it like a year early. By that, I mean, he gets suspended. They do it a year early. I think we take Russell Wilson here and just complete the little stack that we set up. I kind of like Rondale Moore here. We could do the Darnell Mooney stack, but I promised that I would keep this Naked Fields and see what it looked like and see if we liked it. So let's do that. Denver, we got to start thinking maybe there's a Chargers mini with like a Gerald Everett, something like that. I'm not going to crazy prioritize a week 17 here, I don't think, but getting a little run back off of Denver would be nice in like a Chargers Gerald Everett or Joshua Palmer a bit later there. We could also do like a mini like James Cook and like Tyquan Thornton later. Cup with like Isaiah Hodgins. Yeah, there's definitely options for us. I'm not crazy dismayed that I don't have like clear cut week 17 stuff yet. There's an Atlanta piece or two that we could definitely add to the Fields stuff. So yeah, and then there's some, the Tennessee and the Houston minis I really, really like. So there's that. All right, what do we got? Picture this. Running back Mario Kart. What are we talking about, Newbie? Running back Mario Kart. Don't drink and drive. Winners get paid, losers don't. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We've got 2 gal brain here. Is this a real thing? Blake Martinez selling Pokemon cards? Yeah, I mean, there's premature linebackers who retired, like Blake Martinez, Patrick Willis, another one, just didn't, Yeah, McCaffrey's got a good point here. The franchise number for running backs being artificially deflated is part that feels most wrong to me. That's a really good point. I think that's good. Yeah, Luke Kuechly, there's another good one. The guy who retired early because of the contact. Yeah. Okay. Did Blake just solve it? 3-year entry-level contract with big bonuses for touches. No franchise tag for running backs. So if you get utilized heavily in the early part of your career, you make more money. And then there's no franchise tag possibilities. I like that. Made over $5 million in 7 months, more than his career earnings. What the shit? Holy. Yeah, this is true. NFLPA just keeps getting bodied every time they write a new CBA. It's so true. This is an owner-driven league, man. And the problem is surplus of talent, in quotations, because there are so many people that play football that don't make the league. The problem is when we see all of that quote-unquote talent play in the CFL, the XFL, the USFL, we realize they fucking suck, and it's not actually a surplus of talent issue. Like, these guys are way more talented in the NFL, so they shouldn't be getting treated this way, yet they still get treated this way. It's bizarre, man. It's bizarre, but I don't have the solution. I'm gonna scroll down and take Tyler Algier feels good on this team, but I want a different Atlanta target for like the run back. I said I'd do the Cole Kmet or the Gerald Everett thing as the tight end. Only one tight end has gone on this side. I will take whichever of those. You know what? Okay, let's just do it now. I don't want to do the stack. I don't want to get held the bag of Cole Kmet comes back and then we take the stack and then I'm a fraud. I'm not a man of my word. So Algier fit really good on this roster, but I didn't want to have to take Kmet there. We're turning the blue button off. We get Gerald Everett as the run back off the Denver stuff, and we're probably done with that game as week 17. Pass catching running back plus probably their number 2 pass catcher, hopefully, in quotations. In Sutton, Mims may emerge later in the year, and then Everett on the bring back. I like that one. That's a good little start there. We could also do a little Miami running back bring back off of Mark Andrews. I've seen both the Miami running backs that I like falling a little bit, so there's that. This will probably be a 2 quarterback team. I think we're probably done at the onesies, huh? Fields and Russ and Andrews and Everett. It'd be putting a condom on it to take another one, I think, unless it's Taysom. Mims fits nice, but I don't want to make the super stack. Let's go ahead and take Alec Pierce. Doesn't really correlate, but just kind of like him. Opens the door for some other possibilities, right? Oh. The surprising news that Newbie turns out to be a Pokemon expert. There you go. Yeah, it's true. That's one of the pitfalls, right? Is like a good running back and a good linebacker. They just beat the shit out of each other, right? They're so far to go. Yeah. Good luck with this one, man. Oh man. Fan strike. The NFL is just too big of like a media conglomerate. Like it's so massive that it can just do whatever the hell it wants. Like that maybe is the issue. Like the NBA is a players driven league because the NBA, people forget, like 20 years ago, nobody really gave a fuck about the NBA. Like they kind of cared a little bit, but it was just kind of like, man, people cared more about baseball back then, right? It's interesting. So like it became a player dominated league because they needed to rely on the star power, build up the star power to make the star power the focal point of the league to sustain the league, right? And build this league around stars and let them go where they want and let them get like these massive contracts for staying with the same team and, you know, get these tiered contracts of basically their equivalent of franchise tags, but you get more. Whereas like the NFL is just like, dude, we're the biggest thing ever, period. Get out of here. Like later. It's weird. Yeah, this is making me think here. Okay, we got to see here. All right. I did this during COVID and I stashed it in like a desk side drawer there at some point. Maybe Numi can help us out here. All right. What's this one? Here we go. We got Pikachu, first edition. I did a bunch of research on them back in the day. Red Cheeks. We got the Red Cheeks one. We got the Yellow Cheeks one. You guys tell me if this shit's worth anything. Do the research for me. I remember like when everybody had nothing to do during COVID, I just raided like my parents' house and got this Venusaur. Venusaur first edition from the OG set. Looks like it's in pretty good condition. I mean, it's obviously not a 10. Who knows? Yeah, and he's asking where the Charizard is. I couldn't find it, man. I think I had one back in the day. Oh shit, we're on the clock. As I'm goofing around. Let's do Mostert. Okay, we said that we liked Miami Ambiguity. When I was doing the stochastic stream, very interesting that shit, who makes the projections over there? Oh, I'm gonna butcher. I can't remember right now. Mike Gachevsky. He makes the projections for stochastic for their best ball season long stuff, and he has Mostert like at like 100, something like that. So, I mean, he's kind of like pure spreadsheet guy Neil alluded to, but still. All right, we got this one. Mewtwo, is that a good one? That one feels like a good one. I remember him being good back in the day. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, by myself and now Pokemon. This is a tough scene, boys. This is a tough scene. You guys didn't think I could go full Numi nerd on you, huh? Anyways, it's getting too deep in this box. There's like 100 more here in these like cases and shit, but whatever. Who cares? I wonder what the Venusaur's worth. Numi, what's the Venusaur worth? How many BBM 4 entries for the Venusaur? Sell it to somebody so that I can fund this operation. Wow, man, we're still seeing this Cole Kmet slide here. Let's take Taekwon. Little mini correlation there with the Buffalo thing with James Cook. I like it as like as a tiebreaker. Has anyone drafted Melvin Gordon yet in these rooms? I thought about it this morning. I don't know. Feels bad. Feels like an insurance policy. At least he can catch the football a little bit. And I don't know. Justice Hill. They love Justice Hill for some reason. He just winds up, him and Gus Edwards just wind up on the roster every single year, no matter what. I'm trying to think. Whoa, depending on the grade, somewhere from 500 to 20K. Holy shit. My untrained eye knew me. I don't know how you grade cards, but like looking at the edges and stuff, like it's pretty clean. There's one little white mark at like the top, but the edges look pretty clean and it's pretty flat and there's no marks on the front really. I'd say I'd give it, I don't know, card graders are like such freaking sticklers, right? I'd probably give it a 7. I think 7 would be like fair. But I could see some hardos calling it a 6. If you had asked me without any like inclination, I would have said 8 right away. But I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know we were making a trade for something that was worth $0, Blake. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Holding the bag. All right. We're in scroll EF down territory for sure. I think I got to pump the brakes on my Lenny Fournette stuff. I'm at 18-ish% right now. Maybe more. 21, something like that. I think I got to slowly pump the brakes. It's kind of scary that Melvin Gordon got signed before Lenny Fournette. Not going to lie. They probably would have done the exact same thing for that team. And I can't imagine Lenny Fournette would turn down 3.1 in an incentive-laden deal. But yeah, I don't know. But he might not be looking for that. He might be looking for opportunity, opposed to like just getting a little bit of a bag and being an insurance policy. I think Lenny thinks Lenny has more in the tank than that. Glad I came home and decided not to swing the sticks this afternoon. I had to come home for a puck game tonight, but it's raining for the first time in 3 months right now. So glad I'm not out there trying to salvage a score. All right. We got 3 picks left here. One is going to be a correlated piece that I'm feeling right now, that I'm warming up to. So still seeing Gus Edwards go in the 188 range there. There was a little FUD around Gus Bus last week. CH got the bump. Let's do CPAT here. I love the versatility that CPAT offers that offense, just in terms of like random spike weeks. Like he doesn't have the same contingent value as like some of the names back here, like Zamir White, for instance. But I'll opt for a little bit of correlation there, and just, you know, Bijan could be amazing, and CPAT's still gonna have a role in week 17 for this little piece of 1v1 correlation. Like he's in no jeopardy of losing a role. I don't know, maybe he's a cut candidate. Who knows? They keep Huntley and they do that sort of thing and don't pay him, but yeah. Yeah, it's probably very high. Nobody runs pure. Hey. Nobody runs pure is a mindset, not an actual fact. I was telling Numi the other day the number. I told him one of the numbers, but one of the numbers that I've ran below EV in my poker career, and it would make people's stomachs turn. Hunter Renfroe sitting there. Bad report today on him being a potential cut candidate. Roster bubble guy, which is surprising, man. He maybe being on the roster bubble would be a good thing. Maybe he winds up in a better place. Setting up a week 17 correlation of like DeAndre Hopkins and Robert Woods, like, doesn't that just feel awful? Like the 2 oldest dudes in the world. I think this is going to be 2-6-8-2. I think it's going to be. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think we're going to take Zamir White here. Let's do it. Let's buy in a little bit. Let's buy in a little bit to Jacobs' holdout, plus them liking him. We talked a little bit on the show earlier how he is like a direct handcuff, and Hayden got me into it on that weekly winners stream too. I mean, shout out to him. I shouldn't have taken Matt Breida on that team. I should have taken Zamir White instead, because the thesis was the exact same thing, but the case which Hayden laid out for me that Zamir had a faster path is looking to be 100% true based on the comments of those two running backs. Like the fact that, Jacobs wants to set a precedent, right? So yeah, this is there, man. Like, love if Renfro's cut, right? Like, he could wind up somewhere. Yeah. Lenny getting that Golden Corrals treatment, that Eddie Lacy weigh in there. Kendre Miller back. What are we talking about here? Let me know, Chip. Is that actually a news nugget that just came in? So everybody freaked out about the pup stuff, and now he's actually going to be playing. Wow, my Twitter just switched to that X. I hadn't seen that yet. Holy smokes. That is weird. Jeez. Huh. Bizarre. I'm not seeing anything about Kendra yet, but I like this. Eddie Lacy in a Seahawks uniform. No one's ever looked more svelte. I love that. Got activated. There you go. So there you go. There's your case study on the pup list about how it low key doesn't mean shit, and they can get activated at any time. Paid, what's up here? Working on an MLB Daily's ideal stack study. Sample size still too small, but interesting results already. 5 stacks proving to be worse than I may have thought. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a lot. The Micro Edges episode, if you want to go back to that one, and if you want to go back to the really old episodes at the very beginning of the baseball season on the Underdog channel, obviously they're just below on the Badge Bros channel as well. But of our original show, like, we had a lot of thesis about like that and kind of talked through, what 5-mans won last year. And we've kind of gone through some of the results stuff as well. Yeah, I mean, the thing about the 5-mans is the ROI is never highest, because in theory, you're building 5-mans for every single team, for every portion of the lineup, for every combination every single day. Like, that's a lot of lineups to build, and that's a lot of lineups to enter. So even when they smash, like, you literally have to smash the way that like Lackey did that one day, where it was like Mets, and he was the only one with Mets, and then he scoops the leaderboard. Like, you have to think through combinations in which you smash, not just like, hey, I have to build a 5-man of this team with the first 5 hitters. Like, yeah, if that makes sense. Robert Woods comes back. I had made the mental commitment that if he had come back, that I would tack him on. The fact that Corrine likes him makes me like him, obviously. Melvin Gordon does have an ADP, so someone somewhere has now mixed him in. There's probably worse ideas. Yeah, let's take Robert Woods as a little mini week 17 correlation there, and then call that one a draft. Not bad. Not my favorite. Naked Fields, definitely viable. Like, when we were just talking about like the same thesis as weekly winners, where like raw points matter and you don't care where they come from. Absolutely. Of course, Chip loves the guy named Derek. I like that. CPAT at least going to be a returner. He could even play tight end, apparently. Oh, there you go. I mean, yeah, he's not going anywhere. So there is something like formidable about like having like a 2 tight end set where it's like Kyle Pitts on one side and CPAT on the other side. That low key sounds like pretty fun from an offensive scheme standpoint. I doubt he can. I mean, he's a professional football player. Guys love him, but I doubt he could be an inline blocker kind of guy. But just a chip and run out into the flat, get the guy the ball in space. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Feel way worse with unstacked DJ Moore than I do Fields, because like when you're betting on DJ Moore, you're betting on the Fields, right? Like, you're betting on that. When you're betting on Fields, you're betting on Fields, and he can get it done with his legs. And I would venture to guess, and this has been my thesis in the weekly winners, I would venture to guess, and I'd probably be comfortable putting a wager that the times in which Fields is, in theory, optimal this season, the times in which he is optimal in the weekly winners contest or the battle royale, that he is most likely to be tethered to Cole Kmet or no one than he is to be tethered to DJ Moore. If that makes sense. Because like, I just don't see range of outcomes. Like, I mean, it's definitely plausible, but like, do you see 4 touchdown Fields game where like 4 are through the air and 2 are to DJ Moore? And like, it just doesn't feel, I don't know. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it happens this year, but like, it just feels like Fields' path to, from a pure like raw points scoring standpoint, is he breaks off 80 yards on the ground. He scores twice on the ground. He hits Kmet with 1 touchdown and he hits DJ Moore with the other touchdown. Like something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too drinking my own Kool-Aid down the rabbit hole. Who knows? Okay, fun draft. Fun impromptu stream. Thank you all for taking some time out of your day to hang out and jam. It'd been a couple days since we had done football. I really wanted to do a football draft, and when I'm going to do one, I may as well just do it on stream with you guys and hang out. So chill stream, chill show, talk through a couple of the bullet points. We ended up with the 2-6-8-2, the kind of standard issue build, naked Justin Fields, and a Russ stack. The Russ stack with Javonte. We talked about liking Javonte way more than that ADP now as the news gets bullish. But as the pendulum swings one way for Kendre Miller, the pendulum can also swing the other way for Javonte Williams, right? He could get out there and he could practice like 2-3 days and they just go, oh yeah, maybe we got to take a step back here. Like this isn't going as well as we think. So still tread carefully, but I'm definitely going to be building rosters where it's kind of like anchor Javonte from the 7th round. I just like how they unfold. Anyways, Javonte Williams, James Cook, Jamal Williams, Raheem Mostert, C. Pat, Zamir White, Kupp, Higgins, Hopkins, Addison, Sutton, Pierce, Tyquan, Robert Woods, Mark Andrews, Gerald Everett on the bring back. I would say it's like pretty condom team. Like it's not that crazy. It's not that gal brain. It just feels like somewhat solid, right? Somewhat solid to have a Denver stack and a bring back. Somewhat solid to just have like one premium quarterback and then one other quarterback who's a breakout candidate, and then the same, I guess, post type breakout resurgence candidate, and then kind of the exact same thing at the tight end position. So treated the onesies positions very similarly, anchor Kupp, and then kind of like a 0 RB style build where we can find out the Javonte one. I did not do this. I would advocate for looking at, I think Nez and Numi both put it in there. I'll post a pic. So he's going to post a pic on Twitter. Nez will have one there. And I think Numi already had one in the clubhouse there. This is just a pick him in general. He didn't include the Xander one. So yeah, I don't want to be honestly, I haven't done enough on the Xander research to be the beacon of knowledge for you on that paid. I don't want to be that guy for you. I would follow Nez and or Numi's advice if they add it, and Numi suggesting he did the hire. So there you go. There we go. What's up, baby Speedy? Took mine off and might need to see the doctor. Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, it was a fun draft. Chipsy went with 4 tight ends there. I'll take a look at that one and then we'll call it there. 32% Javonte. I mean, I like it, man. I like it. We're talking about dudes that have ceilings later in drafts that have like literally top, 2 round ceilings. He's one of them. Damn straight, he's one of them. And we're only getting good news so far. So I really like the way this comes out. We likened it to the Justin Verlander thesis. So anyone who's playing there, I mean, Javonte Williams, I'll make a basketball comp for people who don't do the baseball stuff. Basketball comp, Terry Rozier. When LaMelo Ball's out there, he's not like incredible, but he's serviceable. And then when he gets that full-fledged role, when LaMelo Ball is not out there, like the contingency value of like a Terry Rozier is higher than like almost anyone else. So yeah, maybe that was like more of a contingency play than just like standalone value. But I do see the ceilings as like similar. All right, Chip, I'm taking a look and then we're calling it a day here. Baby Stevie did one too. I'm not going to go through everybody's, but I want to see what 4 tight end turned out for you. Okay. Irv Smith. So he didn't take a tight end until 167. So he didn't take it till the 14th round. 14th round. Yeah. 167. Okay. So Smith, Knox, Isaiah Likely, and Hunter Henry. I mean, if you're going to pick tight ends to do it with, you take one that's stacked with your quarterback, that's sharp. You take Dawson Knox, who's just like undervalued because everybody's just discounted him off the planet. You take one with huge contingency value on the best second or third best tight end in the league in Mark Andrews, and you take that. And then Hunter Henry, just professional tight end, who, I mean, everyone remembers Bill Belichick's comments from last year about how much they loved Hunter Henry and why they targeted him, blah, blah, blah. Chase, Henry, Smith, Kirk, Burrow stack, Madison, Pierce. I mean, I like this double tap right here. I mean, if you miss on running back like early, or you just do like one early, like Madison in the 70s and Pierce in the 70s feel like two guys that have paths to bell cow workloads at the moment here that go like a bit later than everybody else, like similar vein to like Javonte. Like I think this is like a cliff right here. Javonte, and then it kind of is like not like part-time players, but like James Cook a little longer in the tooth. Rashad White, we don't know what that team's gonna look like. Anyways, the Boyd stack, old balls Michael on the team, Daniel Jones, naked Daniel Jones. Oh, it went Slayton with the last pick. Yeah, not bad. Algier bet, Khalil Herbert bet, two guys that we've talked about liking contingency value. Yeah, it's cool. It's a good way to do 4 tight end if you're going to do it like that. All right. All right, Alex. Okay, last one. We'll sauce the last one. Alex was working while he was doing the draft, so let's see how Alex's team turned out. 2673 with Deshaun and Kenny Pickett. This looks like a Cleveland stack with the backs. Yeah, okay, cool. Chubb, Hall, Jones, A-Chain. Oh, pairing A-Chain and Jeff Wilson. Interesting, cool. Zeke in the last or second to last round. Tyreek Hill, Drake London, Michael Pittman. Gets the George Pickens stack there. I don't see a Seattle bring back. No Seattle bring back on that, which is obviously all good. Bring back on the Breece Hall stuff on the Cleveland stuff. Richie James, man. Richie James, maybe we should be pushing him up a little bit here. He'd been 18th round darling for a lot of people early, and now we just keep getting bad news on Tony. Like that depth chart looks kind of thin for KC at their pass catching without Tony. Without Tony being the guy that everyone thinks Tony, or some people think Tony's going to be, like Kansas City at wide receiver. I mean, maybe I wish I had a little bit more Sky Moore at this point in time, but like Rice is a rookie, MVS kind of their stretch the field de facto like number 1 wide receiver in week 1 if you were looking at a depth chart, I imagine. But Richie James was nice last year, kind of like that. Njoku, Schultz, and Kmet. Good tight end room that you don't have to spend a ton of capital on. Some people smarter than me talking about how much they like Njoku kind of as like this no man's land tier at tight end, where tight end looks like it's going to fall, but it's like the break in the tier is like Njoku, Ingram, and then there's a break. I guess you could put Freiermuth in there too, and then there's kind of like a break in where it's like, now what? A lot of people liking Njoku. Yeah, fun team. I haven't done a ton of Cleveland like onslaught stacks like that, so that's fun. Worried about the Rozier comp, but maybe I landed it. I don't know. We almost got there. Yeah, Melvin Ingram, Melvin Gordon to Ball. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Kelsey's just gonna smash again, isn't he? I mean, probably with that wide receiver room. I mean, doesn't it just feel like that? It's so weird, man. You just keep fading the he's going to fall off a cliff eventually, and he just doesn't. Anyways, fun impromptu stream. Just wanted to keep it to like an hour. We went an hour and 15. Enjoy those baseball streets today, and we will be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing baseball tomorrow on the Underdog channel, normal time slot. Appreciate everyone coming out of nowhere. And do us a favor, hit that like, that subscribe, that notification, that follow on your way out the door. We'll be back tomorrow. Everybody's favorite time of the show. Again. Peace. Thanks for drafting.